Cables, something we often take for granted, yet they form the backbone of every modern system. From powering homes, offices, and factories to connecting devices, transmitting signals, and ensuring safety, cables are everywhere. They carry electricity, data, and communication across networks, keeping our lives running smoothly. Without them, infrastructure, technology, and industry would simply come to a halt. Before we dive into cables, let's first understand how electricity is made and how it reaches us. Electricity is generated at power plants using coal, gas, hydro, nuclear, or renewable sources like wind and solar. From there, it's transmitted across long distances through high voltage lines and then distributed through substations and low voltage networks to homes, offices, and industries. And at every step of this journey, cables play a very crucial role, safely carrying power and communication signals when they are needed.
Hello everyone, this is Rup Mehta, heading the Promoter Interactions Department at Sovereign. So at Sovereign, I've showcased a lot of promoter interactions through podcasts. But today we are doing something different. Today we are doing a factory visit of a company which is gearing up for its IPO. Today we are at the factory of Prime Cables. So Prime Cables is basically a cable manufacturer, and today we'll see how cables are made, what are their processes, their end use, and the end user segments which they cater to. Today, we have Mr. Nikunj Singla and Mr. Nikunj Singla, the second generation of Prime Cables with us. So today, they'll give us an in-depth analysis of the business and we'll know more about Prime Cables. So sir, to start with, what does Prime Cables do? Could you explain us in a very simple manner?
So Prime Cable is into manufacturing of wires and cables. So these wires and cables are the nerves and veins of the whole electric system that is running around the country. Correct. So the power is generated at a power plant somewhere in Rajasthan maybe, and the consumption could happen somewhere in Mumbai in an office or a household. So that power has to be, it goes through a journey from Rajasthan to Mumbai through different type of methods, through substations, through HT lines, etc. So that is where these cables are used. So these cables are the ones which are transmitting that current from that power plant where the electricity was generated to the consumption part where the electricity would be used. So throughout the process, the cables and wires are used, and these are the cables and wires that is Prime Cable is manufacturing. So it could be it could be done through different types of cables and wires. It could be control cables, power cables, instrumentation cables, aerial bunch cables. So majorly Prime Cable is manufacturing LT cables, and all type of LT cables we're manufacturing right now.
So LT cables is
it's low tension cables
and low voltage cable.
Correct. Majority of the distribution or the transmission is done through the low voltage cables only throughout the ecosystem.
सर, आप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस ये केबल का समझा सकते हो फ्रॉम रॉ मटेरियल टू फिनिश गुड्स, ये केबल कैसे बनता है?
बिल्कुल. सो केबल्स में दो टाइप के मेटल यूज होता है जनरली, कॉपर एंड एल्यूमिनियम. सो एल्यूमिनियम इस फॉर्म में हम प्रोक्योर करते हैं, विच इज एल्यूमिनियम रॉड. हम इसको आरबीडी मशीन यूज करके, रॉड ब्रेकडाउन मशीन यूज करके वी ब्रेक डाउन दिस रॉड इनटू द रिक्वायर्ड साइज एज पर द टेक्निकल स्पेसिफिकेशन. जैसे भी कस्टमर का रहता है, हम उस साइज में इसको ड्रॉ कर देते हैं. So this process is called drawing, and then we move on to the process of stranding. So ये एक वायर ड्रॉ होके डिपेंडिंग ऑन द टेक्निकल रिक्वायरमेंट, अगर वो 7 स्टैंड का कंडक्टर है या 19 स्टैंड का कंडक्टर है या 37 स्टैंड का कंडक्टर है, उसके अकॉर्डिंग हम उसको कंडक्टर फॉर्म कर देते हैं. सो ये रॉड जो है 9 mm का रॉड आता है, बट वी कैन हमको उसको उतना अपने बाल जितना पतला भी कर सकते हैं. सो वी हैव दैट फैसिलिटी नाउ. So it can do the thinning up to that hair thinning right. Copper wire पूरा thin होता है. And there is no scrappage in the whole process. अब इन bobbins को we load it in these standing machines and we get a conductor. और conductor का size it can start from 0.5 square mm to up to 1000 square mm. तो हम हर type of conductor बना सकते हैं. And any shape conductor also. Like we can make a D-shaped conductor, a pie-shaped conductor, and a circular conductor. Here, this conductor that you think is almost 300 square mm, South Kentucky. So this is the third stage. जब कंडक्टर हमारा बन जाता है, this is the conductor. It goes to the another stage of insulation. तो या तो उस पे insulation चलता है of XLP or PVC or any specialized compound that the customer wants. So you can see this is an extruder जहाँ पे PVC हर XL पे bent होके एक कवरिंग हो रहा है XLP का ऊपर कंडक्टर के ऊपर. तो जैसे अभी हमने इंसुलेशन देखा ना, सो दिस इज द फोर्थ प्रोसेस। इन्फिलेशन के बाद हर एक कोर को हमने डिफरेंटली इन्फिलेट किया था। अब उस 3 कोर या 3.5 कोर या 4 कोर को हम साथ में लेइंग करेंगे उसका, to finally manufacture individual cores को as a cable. So यहाँ में एक केबल मिल जाती है हमको, that is a laid up cable. So laying के बाद केबल पे एक inner sheathing का कवरिंग चढ़ता है, and the fifth process after that is the armoring process. So इस प्रोसेस में कैसे रहता है, GI स्टील या स्क्रिप्ट की एज पर द टेक्निकल स्पेसिफिकेशन एक हम केबल पे आर्मर्ड लगाते हैं। रीजन फॉर दैट इज दी आर्मर्ड लगा के कैसे होता है कि अपने को केबल की एक रॉबस्ट लाइफ मिल जाती है and it becomes more lasting. So armoring का purpose है एक shield type armor देना केबल को. It is done through different machines. We have 3 machines armoring की. One is the 48 bobbin machine, one is the 24 bobbin machine, and this one is the biggest one. This is the 61 bobbin machine. इसमें हम 61 wires तक की armoring कर सकते हैं. So we are manufacturing cables to 3.5 core 400 square m with 2.5 mm का GI wire using. So in short, the GI steel armors the cable, जिसकी वजह से long lasting वो केबल और long lasting बन जाती है. Because cables का जो यूज़ रहता है ना वो rigorous रहता है. जो साइड पे केबल यूज़ होता है उसको नीचे ज़मीन पे ही बिछाना पड़ता है. So कुछ उसके ऊपर पैर लग जाए या कुछ चढ़ जाए उसके ऊपर, so केबल वो भी झेल सकता है अगर आर्मरिंग अच्छा है. So this is the final process where the cable outer sheet is been laid up over the last layer, and you can see our brand name over the cable. Yes, Prime Cable. Yeah.
Okay. सर प्राइम केबल्स का यूएसपी क्या है? बिकॉज जितना मैंने समझा इस इंडस्ट्री को, अप्रूवल्स एंड सर्टिफिकेशंस आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो व्हाट टाइप ऑफ सर्टिफिकेशंस डू वी हैव and what other USPs you have as a company?
So when you talk about certification, so we have ISO, we have all the BIS, because हर product के लिए अलग BIS चाहिए होता है, whether it's control cable, power cable, instrumentation cable, AV cable, and that has to be reviewed time to time. And moreover, the prominent USP that we have, that is we have a NABL certified lab, and which gives a trust to the customer towards the quality of cable that we are supplying. Moreover, we have various approvals across the state that Nikunj will. So basically, another USP adding to what Naman said is that we are approved in 14 states across India. So हर state का खुद का एक approval का process रहता है, and they plan to purchase cables from those vendors only which are approved by them. अगर बिहार में एक बोर्ड है, जो बिहार का इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बोर्ड है, वो केबल वैसी किसी रैंडम मैन्युफैक्चरर से नहीं ले सकता. तो व्हाट दे डू, दे हैव अ प्रोसेस कि आपको हमारे यहाँ केबल्स देनी है तो आपको सर्टन क्वालिफिकेशंस मीट करनी पड़ेगी. दे कम टू योर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट, दे डू अ थॉरो प्रोसेस चेक. ईच प्रोसेस आर विटनेस बाय देयर हेड ऑफ क्वालिटी एंड एक्सेट्रा. सो हमारा वैसे 14 स्टेट्स में हमारा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट अप्रूव्ड है, एंड नॉट इवन दिस गिलोट यूनिट, इवन द दिल्ली यूनिट इज ऑल्सो अप्रूव्ड. So that adds to a USP that we have as a manufacturing company in this segment. Adding to it, we have approvals in Navratna companies also, which creates a bigger impact. We are approved with HALE, which is one of the biggest company in India in the PH sector. We are approved with PTCI. We are approved with NTPC. We are approved with NHAI. So these are the brands that are linked with Prime Cable.
So which in a crux, like having an NABL certification, और I feel सिर्फ 3 से 4 SME कंपनीज के बाद ऐसी सर्टिफिकेशंस है, और नवरत्न कंपनीज के साथ काम करना is already a big feat. So you all must have done some steps have already been done right, तब जाके ये approvals आए, certifications आए, and we are working with नवरत्न companies.
So we have a proven track record. That's why we have got the NABL certification. We have a standard quality assurance plan that we follow. And we have the best of the instruments to test these cables. And to maintain this certification is also a task, because even if you have proven history, you need to do it on a regular basis to have those certifications.
हम कौन से प्रकार के केबल्स एंड वायर्स बनाते हैं और कौन सी इंडस्ट्री को केटर करते हैं एज ऑफ नाउ?
So we are into manufacturing of control, power, AB cables, instrumentation cable, and other specialized cables. So in short, we are currently manufacturing all type of low tension cables, and in the whole ecosystem, as we told you, that from the generation, transmission, distribution cables are used. 60% of the whole ecosystem is running on the low tension cables only. So we're manufacturing all types of low tension cables, and for some clients we are even manufacturing specialized low tension cables as well.
So just to get more into it and make it more simpler, sir, low tension cables क्या होता है? मतलब just for people watching.
Yeah. So low tension cables are the cables which have a capacity to carry the current till 1.1 kV.
1.1.
So yeah, 1.1 kV current capacity is in the low tension cables.
And there would be
broadly we can classify the cables into three categories.
Correct.
That is low voltage, medium voltage, and high voltage.
Hmm.
So low voltage is the biggest segment that we are currently able to cater. 60% market, अगर 1 लाख करोड़ का लास्ट ईयर तक मार्केट था केबल का FY24 में, तो 60,000 करोड़ का मार्केट जो था वो लो वोल्टेज केबल्स का था. And the rest 40% is 30% medium voltage cables that we are setting up a plant through this IPO proceed.
Correct.
तो by next year almost 90% of the market को कैप कर पाएंगे.
तो इन शॉर्ट लो टेंशन में है हम, IPO के थ्रू मीडियम टेंशन में आ जाएंगे. सो LT and MT will both be catered now.
LT and MV दोनों होगा.
LV and okay, fair enough.
EHV and HV segment हमारा रह जाएगा.
Okay,
that we plans to
fair
do in
enough.
the future.
Fair enough. And who are your typical customers? Be it government bodies, as you said, infra में तो use होता है, तो government bodies का EPC का बहुत work आता है. And typically हमारे products कहाँ use होते हैं? Like where are our products used?
So our product is used in the entire power ecosystem. That is power generation. कोई भी तरीके से power generate हो रहा हो, like solar, hydel plant, और थर्मल प्लांट और न्यूक्लियर फिशन. तो कहीं भी जब पावर जनरेट होता है उसमें बहुत सारा केबल्स लगता है टू जनरेट द पावर, टू स्टोर द पावर एंड टू ट्रांसमिट द पावर टू द ग्रिड. देन व्हेन पावर ग्रिड में आता है तो ट्रांसमिशन लाइंस लगती हैं एक, क्योंकि सोर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन ज़रूरी नहीं कि सोर्स ऑफ कंजम्पशन भी हो. आज हो सकता है गुजरात में पावर बन रहा हो पर दिल्ली में कंज्यूम हो रहा है, राइट. तो ट्रांसमिशन लाइंस में भी केबल लगती है. तो ऑल दी स्टेट यूटिलिटीज हु आर एंगेज्ड इन ट्रांसमिशन बिजनेस आर अ क्लाइंट. एंड PSUs, सेंट्रल PSUs जो पूरे ग्रिड को मैनेज करते हैं वो हमारे क्लाइंट्स हैं. सिमिलरली देन फाइनली जब पावर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होता है तो ऑल दी डेस्कॉम्स, ऑल दी स्टेट डेस्कॉम्स आर अ क्लाइंट. एंड देन इसके पीछे जो EPCs काम करते हैं they are also our clients.
And as far as capacities are concerned, we have two units, one in Delhi, one in Rajasthan. What would be the capacity utilization in the Delhi as well as the Rajasthan plant? और हर एक यूनिट क्या पर्टिकुलर केबल्स मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं? आई प्रिज्यूम के अलग अलग चीज़ें वी मस्ट बी अलग केबल्स मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं.
We have the BIS to manufacture all kinds of cables at both the plants. So both the plants are like fully sufficient on their own कि वो स्क्रैच से पूरा केबल बना सकता है, कोई भी टाइप का केबल बना सकता है इन द लो वोल्टेज कैटेगरी. एंड एज ऑन डेट हमारा 31 मार्च 25 तक जो कैपेसिटी था दैट वाज 34,000 किलोमीटर्स. एंड द यूटिलाइजेशन इफ आई एवरेज आउट फॉर बोथ द प्लांट्स इट वुड कम वेयर अराउंड 40 to 45% यूटिलाइजेशन. सो विद द करंट कैपेसिटी we could easily reach a top line of 325 to 350 crores.
Okay, got it. In both the plants? Combined, okay. And as far as numbers are concerned, FY23 we did 75 crores with a PAT of around 80 lakhs. FY24 we did 82 crores with a PAT of 1.6 crores. FY25 we did 140 crores with a PAT of 7.5 crores. So there was a massive growth in the PAT over there. So what was the reason for that, first of all? And where do we see things going from here on? Because that hockey stick growth could be seen because, you know, the margins have increased a lot. So if you could explain what were the factors?
So the major factor was we started with the Willow plant. That was last year only. And the plant is spread across over 70,000 square feet. So obviously the economies of scale benefit came into place. And as we grew the top line, we could better negotiate with our suppliers as well. And with the increasing top line and with the increasing base of customers and with all the pre-qualification requirements that we have built over the years, we are now able to qualify and cater to much bigger clients who who are willing to pay good margins for good quality products.
Got it.
So moreover, the economies of scale has led to the reduction in the cost and the expenses also. So as we have, almost in last 3 years, we have doubled down our top line. So the economies of scale has improved our margins throughout.
Got it. And talking about a very important question for this particular conversation, your IPO bound right now, and we are expecting your IPO to hit the markets in the last week of September. So if you could just explain what is the IPO size first of all, and what would be the proceeds being used for.
Right. So the IPO size is somewhere around 40 crores. So the utilization of the IPO proceeds would be like we are building a new manufacturing unit in Ghilot itself. That would be somewhere around 1 lakh square feet unit, which will be focusing on the medium voltage aspect of the industry. And 14.5 crores would be for the capex aspect. Then we are going for some working capital as well. So somewhere around 8 CR would be for the working capital. And we have a running term loan of around 5 CR. So some funds would be used to repay that term loan.
Got it.
And rest would be the GCP.
Got it. And काफ़ी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ के बारे में तो बात कर ली कि इंडिया में बहुत बड़ा अपॉर्चुनिटी है, टेलविंड है, बट वेयर डू यू सी द बिगेस्ट रिस्क और द चैलेंजेस गोइंग फॉरवर्ड फ्रॉम योर, बिकॉज योर बिजनेस इज ऑल्सो स्केलिंग एट दैट लेवल. तो वो एग्जीक्यूशन रिस्क कभी आ सकता है, नहीं आ सकता, और देर इज सम ऑपरेशनल रिस्क दैट वुड कम इन एंड डिसरप्ट बिजनेसेस altogether. Is there any kind of risk or challenge you foresee?
So as we told, our business model is entirely B2B and B2G, and B2B भी वही है जो in the end funding government से ही आ रहा है. So any spending change by the government or any change in that policy reforms respect can obviously affect the business. That can be a challenge, but for the next a decade or so, as our Pradhan Mantri Mr. Narendra Modi has a vision of becoming a developed nation by 2047. We don't see that coming shortly. Otherwise, the market is very good to go right now, and in some challenge in respect to price, like you earlier mentioned that what if the metal jumps severely? So there can be
there can be a significant impact on the prices of the raw material, which can lead to some shift in the purchase orders from the client's aspect.
Yeah, so the client might delay
right
issuing the purchase orders at higher costs.
And
that risk is there.
You explain whatever we do, but one USP of Prime Cables that is very different from others, or if you could describe Prime Cables in one word, that what is the differentiation or that USP that we have that moat that no other player has, or that has given us the growth till now, or give us a huge growth from here as well?
So there could be a few USPs that we are holding right now. So one is the approvals that we told you, that we are working with major state electricity boards. We are working with major Navratna companies that are working in the generation, transmission and distribution aspect. So the amount of approvals that we hold at this level of top line is pretty much very good. So that is one thing that differentiates us. The quality aspect, since we have an in-house NABL lab that speaks about the quality that we're manufacturing cables at. So that kind of differentiates us, because if you see an NABL lab with a company like us at an SME scale, you won't find it almost anywhere. I haven't heard about it. So that is something which differentiates us. And the level of pre-qualification requirements these tenders require, we have that in place. So we can participate in almost any tender that is rolled out in the generation, transmission and distribution aspect of the ecosystem. So that is the
so I think that's the biggest moat, that being an SME company, having an NABL lab, having that certification, and working with Navratna companies is very difficult, because only the biggest of the biggest companies work with the Navratna companies.
Yeah, right.
Fair enough. So one last question from my side, that where do you see Prime Cables in the next 5 to 10 years? What is your vision? And if you could explain anyone watching this particular video that where Prime Cables would be in the next 5 to 10 years.
As we are into low voltage segment only right now, and with the IPO proceeds, we plan to enter the medium voltage segment. So in the next 5 years, you can see us catering to any kind of cable and entering the EHV segment or the high voltage segment also in the coming years. Moreover, after 5 years, in this 5 years only, we have plans to export cables and get into the niche markets where more specialized cables are used and which is a higher margin game as well.
Got it. I think you all have explained the business very well, and we look forward to this particular IPO. All the best, sir.
Thank you for your time.